The 30-year is great, but this just wins out. So that's my pick. 5 Shieldaig's, 1 mission. What's the best between the 12-year, 18-year, 21, 25, and 30? You never know. I've been upset more than once by thinking that the most expensive one was going to be what wins, what's going to be the best. And in the end, that's not always the case. So we're going to find out right now if that's what's happening here with this Shieldaig also. You know, I felt it on Glenmorangie, even though the Signet I did fall in love with in the end. The Dalmar also was kind of almost had an upset there, but the King Alexander won out. But the Altus for Chivas Regal, that one went out. And recently I did another one. I was surprised because the 18-year was the best. So, you know, this has happened. Let's see what happens here with Shieldaig today. I'm going to go ahead and unbox them. And as you can see, all the packages look the same. So that's a little boring. But, you know, I think because they're like a more cost-conscious brand. You know, it looks like they're coming directly from Total Wine, like almost like a house brand. I guess that's what I would say, but I'm not 100% sure. They're probably much more cost conscious and more focused on having similar packaging, so it's easier for them to afford to have large runs and not have to worry about having different packaging costing a lot more. So that might be the case here as well. The colors look fairly similar. I do see a little bit more darkness here as we go along, like a tad bit more. You know, it goes from a lighter, almost golden hue up to almost like this umber hue. You know, I'll put them side by side so we can do another little look here. Yeah, I mean, pretty darn similar. Another one, so get some more lighting. All right. Now I say let's pour it up. And as we pour, you're probably going to see the color changes a little bit. And I want you to write in the comments below what you see. You know, that usually is an indication that there's a little bit more age, a little bit more complexity to it. Doesn't always guarantee that, but, you know. One thing I noticed when we were doing the Dalmar is the Dalmar all had similar color, and a lot of people brought up to me that the way that they do their filtering and the way that they do their coloring with a little bit of caramel is what makes it all become pretty darn equal. So I'm hoping that's not the case here with Shieldaig. Let's see. Let me see a little bit of darkness, but yeah, all very similar. A tad bit more color, but not very much. I want to put them side by side as well in the glasses so you can see that also. And we'll put it on our palette. Okay. Very similar color. Just a slight difference. Very slight difference, but you can see it, yeah. Yeah, when it comes to here, it's a little bit more darker, more of the amber or umber. And then we've got a lot more of the lighter golden hue back here. Okay. So yeah, there's a little bit of color difference. I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but I can see it with my eye. Of course, I got my water. You should always have water when you're doing this much tasting. It helps to cut through it and also keeps you as sober as you need to be while you're doing tasting. I got me some pairings. I pulled together some Korean olives with blue cheese. I think that's going to help add some fattiness and a little acidity, a little bit of saltiness. I also got a dark chocolate pineapple, a little bit of a pretzel with dark chocolate, of Lindt sea salt chocolate, and then a Ferrero Rocher, and then a little bit of these almonds that I always like. This one in particular is the sweet Thai chili, so it should be some good stuff. All right, let's get started with the 12-year. Let's go for number 1. Get a little bit of that cereal smell. Yeah. A tiny bit of fruitiness. Flavor's okay. Not bad, you know, but it's not that complex. It's, you know, lacks layers. Also, the mouth feels a little flat. So up to 18, a bit of a better mouthfeel. Similar flavor profile. Honey, fruitiness, maybe a little bit of apple. Yeah. And we're gonna work our way over to the 18-year. We're gonna get a little bit of water and do a bit of something to cut through it. Let's see the 21-year. Year steps up quite a bit. A lot more of that crispness from an apple, or fruitiness. A lot more of the honey, you know, comes through on that 21-year. See about the 25-year. Let's go ahead and cut it with some of this. Yeah, really steps up there. A lot more flavor, much more well balanced, much better finish, a lot more oiliness. Yeah, I'm feeling the 25 year. It also has a great smell, a little more floral. And the cereal notes come through, like a sweet type of cereal. And now let's get to this 30 year. This is what I've been waiting for. I'm gonna cut this with a little bit of chocolate. Let's see. You know, it feels like when it comes in, it's going to have quite a bit of a bite, a lot more spicy, a lot more of the fruit comes through. I like it because it's complex. I like it because it has that almost like wine. I guess wininess is what you would say. When I drink wine, sometimes it'll come through very dry, very powerful, full body. The next thing you know, it goes down nice and smooth. And so for this right here, it's got a tiny bit of a bite, a small amount of burn, but the mouthfeel and the finish is a lot longer and a lot more powerful compared to what the burn is in the end. Nothing against the 12 year, but it just doesn't do anything for me. The 18 doesn't do anything for me. I'm going to put the 21, 25, and 30 head to head with each other. And I know that sounds kind of boring, but they are the best. They just are. And the price points aren't that much different. And honestly, this is a very affordable lineup as a core group. So I think you'll be okay if you want to try them out also. I'm going to do this Ferrero Rocher. Go straight to the 21. Nice. Let's go with the 25 year. Film, price, complexity, craftsmanship. All of this is on the line when you're looking at this. And you have to decide based on your budget, how much time and energy you want to invest in this, what do you want to have on your shelf? Some people are going to go for a drinker, and some people might go for something a little more expensive because they're trying to enjoy themselves and want to have something nice to share with family. $25 is nice as well. Let's go ahead. Let's cut it with this pineapple. I'm going to put it between the 21 and the 23. 25 has a little bit too much burn and a little too much of a flavor profile that I'm just not into. Let's go ahead and cut it with this sea salt Linder lid. I'm saying that about 21 is calling my name. Let's do a final test. The 30 year. Wow, this is a close one. I'm gonna say since it's so close, if you're going based on price, I would go with the 21 year. I think the 21 year here is the best when it comes to price, flavor, complexity, overall. The 30 year is great, but this just wins out. So that's my pick, the 21 year of the Shieldaig. Please like, subscribe, and share. Always comment, let me know the things that you're interested in. I'm always willing to try different bottles or different lineups. That's what I'm here for. Thank you very much for joining me.